So how would you say? I mean, it's a co-pilot for new developers. Yes or no?
Um, I think
Mm.
that's a really interesting question, and it's an interesting question because it does get you started,
Mm.
which is good. So I think from a confidence perspective, it can be quite useful.
Hmm.
And I think the example that I gave in the presentation was that I can, for reasons I don't know, I can never remember how to file IO. I
Hmm.
just can't. It just doesn't land and stick in my brain. I can write message brokers all day long, but I can't do file IO. So having something that can tell me how to do that is really useful.
Hmm.
I think if you can get it to, and we're not probably quite there, and it's an evolving tool, of course, right? So let's bear that in mind. If we can get to a point where I can build some code, run it, and debug it, and it will actually build and execute and debug, and I can see the outcomes. That to me is the golden child of that particular process. Whether the code is right or wrong, probably less important at that point because that's part of your learning process.
Yeah.
So, does it write good object-oriented code? Who knows, right? That depends on the question you ask and how you ask it.
Hmm.
And the example that I didn't have time to get to in the presentation was getting it to start splitting things out from a piece of monolithic code into methods, and
Mm.
then using interfaces and all that sort of stuff. It does a really good job of that, right? So if you've got the basics, it can do a reasonable job at building the skeletal code that helps you get to where you need to go. But it doesn't write your code for you, so you still have to learn that stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly.
GitHub Copilot for people who are starting, okay,
Hmm.
but but it's like any tool. You need to know the questions to ask it and how to use it properly.
All right.
Yes,
Great
totally
answer. Yeah.
agree. Yeah, it's interesting to see how this will develop in the near future.
Yeah, yeah, and look honestly with the other parts of GitHub as well, things like the advanced security and other things like that, and when they start plugging some of these sort of enterprisey type tools together with things like project management and task management and issue management and all those sorts of things, you can see you can see a time that's where you might say, right, I want you to write this piece of code, I want you to create a pull request, and then you want to send you a message to this person to do a code review, and then give them an automation that will allow me to merge that request and then push it to prod. As a single stream of consciousness.
Yeah.
Will we get there? I don't know. It's
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
tools are there. Can we
Yeah.
find something that will automate all that together? Who knows?
Yeah.
Exciting times though.